What's up, guys? So we got some breaking news that unfortunately is kind of good and it's kind of bad. Right now, the good news is Pokemon Go has over 500 million players. I didn't read that twice because I actually didn't believe it. Now, with that many people playing every single day, those numbers may kind of drop off a little bit, and a lot of you might not, unfortunately, be able to play anymore. Kind of sucks. That's the bad news. So we'll get right into it. Now, an official post by Pokemon Go, Niantic Labs support team confirms that Pokemon Go will soon be ending support on iOS systems for Apple, if you don't know what iOS is. Okay, now here's the good news. It's only for the operating system for iOS 8. Now, they're telling everybody now what they need to do is upgrade between now and I believe the November 20th, and you'll be fine. So they're saying for people to upgrade to iOS 9. Now, for the most part, anybody in my country, in America, Canada, probably England, really, that's not that big a deal because there's virtually nobody running iOS 8 anymore. A lot of the more distant countries, India, things like that, don't have a lot of the most upgraded, technology, so a lot of them are using older iPhones, like iPhone 4s, 4Ss, 5s, who are still stuck on the iOS 8. Now, you're going to have to upgrade, or at least upgrade the iOS, if anything else, to try to get it to iOS 9. There's a lot of sites out there. You can Google them, try to get it on there. Now, as the game's official support team noted that iOS 8 was first released back in 2014, and there have been many major improvements to the iOS operating system since then, which is also what's bringing up the main problem. A lot of the little things that the newer iOS has can't be implemented into the game because it's supporting an older version. It's like you can't have, this really cool thing just for the people on iOS 10 or 11, and everybody on iOS 8 and 9 are kind of left in the dust. So the post goes on to explain that basically what they were able to do is streamline their development process and so that everything kind of goes faster. It's kind of like if you have a game out and you're saying, okay, well, I want this game to run on the PS4, the Xbox One, the PS3, the Xbox 360. So that's why they have to kind of cut out this other thing. It streamlines it, it makes it more faster, it makes them able to actually use the most recent technology and not have to rely on what the base actually is. Because that's basically what they've been doing, is they're making all these games based on iOS 8 because it has to at least be able to run on that. So the processors in the new phones, the RAM in the new phones, everything else really is not being used up to its actual potential because it's just not designed for. Now, for the most part, also the post goes on to state that the vast majority of Pokemon Go players on iOS are already using a higher version of the operating system. No kidding. However, 10% of actually the user base is on iOS 8 or older. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about some of these more third world countries, more ones out there that aren't as, they don't have the ability to go and get the newest phones, newest iOSs, whatever it may be. So they're using older versions of iOS 9. There's a lot of people out there who have jailbroken their phones from back when and just never upgraded. So, however, there's 700 million iOS users around the world, and so it still means that a lot of people could be without access to the actual mobile game. Because 10% of 700 million is an awful lot of people. No, what's that? 70 million people? Yeah, 70 million people. That's a lot of people. That's oh my God, that's a lot of people. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Just took that into account. That's a lot of people. Yeah. So, for those who are unable to upgrade their iOS devices in order to keep playing Pokemon Go, the announcement would be massively disappointing. But for the vast majority of players, this will be good news. It means that the game's developer, Niantic, is hoping to use the iOS operating system in the best way possible, which is basically exactly what they should be doing. Hopefully, this will bring the trading. This will bring the one-on-one PvP battles and everything else that they're able to actually do with the technology that they actually have access to now. Yay! That's why a lot of the game developers out there stop making PS3s and PS or Xbox 360 games with the, PS4 games. Now, fans out there have said, and they've kind of come up and said a few little bad things, but they're also confident that this means Pokemon Go's long-awaited trading and PvP features are... Shut up! Put that in the video. Tyler pissed me. So fans out there are confident that this means that Pokemon Go's long-awaited trading and PvP features are right around the corner. Niantic may not have been able to get the trading and player versus player battles working on older iOS operating systems. Now, they never really came out and actually said that, but it kind of does make sense. It would have been smart if they actually would have just said that. People probably would have upgraded God knows how long ago, instead of waiting to the last minute and basically saying, hey, by just after Thanksgiving, everybody has to be on the newer system. Whatever. So hopefully they won't have to hold back anymore. Niantic is preparing lots of other little updates for Pokemon Go too, such as the new social features, having just purchased social gaming developer Evertoon, which kind of surprised everybody. In order to make this happen, it's unclear what forms of new features maybe take. The removal of iOS 8 support could loosen the reins, giving Niantic more freedom to do things. Now, also keep this in mind, that doesn't mean that 2 months from now they're not going to say iOS 9's out the window. And then 3 months after that, say iOS 10 is out the window because 11's out. So it's all kind of speculation with that. But right now, what we do know is that iOS 8 is out. If you have it, upgrade. If you can't, sorry, no Pokemon Go for you. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Please hit that subscribe button and like button. And my daughter right now is laying down on the couch giving me funny faces. Bye!